Is it getting too close to the bone, so to speak? Radiohead and They're There on XFM. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
I was talking to my dad the other day. He was saying he lived in Bristol and my family lived in Bristol, and so they can't really listen to the show. And he said, I was thinking of buying your grandparents a digital radio for Christmas so they can listen to your show. Imagine them listening to that last link.
Like you.
And then me seeing them at Christmas. Steve, you never told us you saw two blokes bumming.
Yeah, and then what's that about you jacking off 30 men?
Exactly.
You've got to say no, lad. I know you're a nice fella, but just because they want relief, you're not the man for it.
Oh dear. They must be so proud.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Yeah, they'd be loving this, right? 3 clues were, first one. If you go to Chepstow, you will, right? The initial was S. That was sea horses. Alright, that was the answer there.
I'll give you that.
That's fair enough.
I'll give you that.
E.T.'s upset. What's wrong with E.T.? What's wrong with him?
Yeah, right.
The initials M.E.
Yeah.
What's up with him? He was Missy Elliott. Alright, Elliott.
Doesn't count at all.
What?
Doesn't count at all.
Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? What's wrong with E.T.?
What is that with him?
No, well, just let him explain it. Sorry, Carl, do it again. Well, I wasn't listening. Do it again.
Elliott, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in E.T.?
Yeah, I'll just do the clue again.
Right. E.T.'s upset. So he's looking a bit sad and that. What's
What,
up with
E.T.
him?
the extraterrestrial?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Right. And his mate,
Yeah.
who's in it's called Elliot.
Yeah.
Right, he's upset. What's up with him? Well, he's Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, what's she got to do with it, though? I don't understand.
No. The way you'd say it, you say, what's up, E.T.? And it'd go, oh, Missy Elliott.
Why would he
Missing.
mention her? I don't understand. Was it a thing in the film?
Missing.
She wasn't even around.
Oh, missing?
Oh, Missing Elliott. Oh, no,
Oh, that makes sense, Carl. But she's not called Missing Elliott.
No, it's meant to be about rock
Cryptic,
stars,
that's what I
though,
always
isn't it?
say.
Missing Elliott, isn't it? So it's meant to be about rock stars, isn't it, though?
It's just cryptic, though, isn't it? Cryptic clues. And
Oh, no, that's not cryptic. That's shit. You.
Right, the third one. I had a tape, and it had, Humpty Dumpty on it, and...
I love when he says Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty.
Hickory Dickory Dock and that.
Yeah.
But the tapes, broke.
Yeah.
That was B.R. Buster Rhymes.
Say that again, I dozed off.
Sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean?
Who's the winner, Steve?
No, it doesn't. No, do you mean busted?
Buster. Well, it's kind of like that. Cryptic.
No, it's not. No, cryptic doesn't mean change it, so it's not the same.
Steve, who's the winner? We got loads of right answers, so...
It's interesting, this email
It's weird,
system,
isn't
it flashes up suspected spam. If it, spam is that stuff that gets sent around the internet.
Yeah.
And it flashes that up if it thinks it's, gonna be a spam email. And every time it comes in with a Rockbusters answer, it just says suspected spam. In a sense. In a way. Let's give it to, Catherine Jakeways from, Hackney. She's got those answers.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You know, talking about, your parents listening, Carl, it was in Heat this week, and, they mentioned that he does this thing on Sky. What is it?
It's this thing with Richard Bacon, some programme about watching telly, and you just talk about what you're watching, and that.
And he was annoyed, because he said, because his parents are there, and so he's not doing it. He's not going to turn up, because they mentioned it in Heat.
And so his parents might watch.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about that?
I don't like them watching stuff, do I? I told you. It dates back to when I did Little Donkey at school. Sure. I don't want people watching me.
What's that? Just renew us on Little Donkey? What happened?
It was just, I was there to play the drums and that, in We Three Kings. I was loving it, I got a bit carried away.
How old were you?
About 13.
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
About 10 probably.
Yeah.
6.
Between 6 and 13.
Where old were you? What school were you at?
Okay, you were playing Little Donkey.
Yeah.
So, and,
No,
No, but it was one of them schools where everyone sort of was in the same one. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, a Manchester school.
Just
the one
do you
classroom.
mean?
Well, it's like
sweeping chimneys in the day and then 1 hour of learning? What are you talking about? What school were you at? Was it infants, junior or
They
secondary?
didn't really do that. It was
What
one
What
where...
do you mean? You
do that?
did that? They still have to abide by the laws of the land in Manchester.
No, but it was a lot more... Like you had infants, but
Yeah.
you also had, the older lot. There's kids there who, when you're in the younger year and that, you'd see kids and you go, is that...
Talk English and use terms that people do when they're talking about schooling.
I don't even want to talk about this.
No, how old were you? What
I'm guessing maybe 6 or 7 or 8.
So you went from 13 to 6?
Yeah, but like I say, it's hard to remember because...
Imagine if you were giving evidence in a trial.
Yeah. How old were you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really narrow it down other than 7 years either way.
You know, theoretically,
Yeah.
he could get called up for jury service. Right, you're on...
White Stripes, hardest button to button on XFM. That's a frightening thought that you came up with before the break. That
Carl on jury service.
Carl could be responsible for
Yeah.
someone's rest of their life.
Yeah. Because jury service, that applies to anyone. Anyone could get sent the form. I think you're obliged to go unless you have a really decent reason not to.
Imagine it was a really, really important trial.
But what annoys me is that isn't it supposed to be you're tried by 12
Good
of
men
your
and
peers?
true. 12 good men
and true.
Yeah.
Good men and true.
And women, of course.
The only
these
thing
days.
I can hope is that the defence attorney would wheedle out Carl at an early stage.
Oh yeah, objection. I object.
Yeah.
Why?
I object. Have you heard of something called Rockbusters?
Yeah. Well, sorry, you can't just object on that. Okay, then what if I tell you my client, standing trial, is a little gay Chinese fella? And here are some of the tapes
Yeah.
from XFM.
My
What would you
suspicion
do?
is he's prejudiced.
So how does it work then?
How does what work?
What do you mean? You just get called up and you have to do jury service unless you've got a very good reason.
And it's not, I normally have Mondays off.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't like that.
Oh, yeah, or
you have to get there at 9
I've got to
o'clock.
prepare monkey news.
Yeah. Oh, you couldn't stand it.
Just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't,
What would you say?
say, oh, don't get me involved. Because I got involved once.
Don't get me involved!
No,
What do you mean you got involved once?
well, with the police and that, when I lived in Manchester, I saw a bit of car crime going on.
Right.
And I got involved. Hassle. Telling you.
How did you get involved? You phoned the police?
Yeah. Yeah, because I
Snitch.
thought, well, I know, well, that's just it, but I thought I'd hope somebody did
Grass.
it with my, well,
Yeah.
so, and it's just a hassle. Loads of phone calls.
Canary.
Having to stand on a balcony of this, tower block that I lived in. Police shouting up at me. I'm stood there with my underpants on, right? And what it was, a car had been robbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I call up the police and that,
Yeah.
right? Said, right, listen, car's being robbed. And they said, where is it? I said, I don't know, just across the road from where I live, right? So I tell them where I live. And
Where
they go,
do you live? How old were you? 13?
so she's asking loads of questions and that. I'm saying, look, whilst you're asking all this, they're actually getting away, so, will we leave it? And she's like, no, we'll track it down, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, look, I work nights.
What could you see? You could see
I
some
could
lads
see some lads
just
pushing a car.
Pushing a car.
Yeah.
That's how they steal cars in Manchester, is it?
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the country, they're getting in, they're driving them away.
In the south, they drive them away.
Exactly.
You usually sort of like
In
start the
Manchester.
engine. Can get away a lot faster. What do the police do? Push their panda car after them.
Exactly.
Say, come on lads, don't cheat, don't get in the car. They're just pushing it.
It was late at night and that. And I
Oh,
suppose
okay.
You don't want to start the engine
Of course
because
you
they'll
want to
look
wake
out the
people up, not when you're
window.
nicking cars. Of course you don't.
All right.
No,
So,
no.
so is it
Late
working
at
for
night?
me?
Hold on, they
They
weren't
were
gay.
wheeling
They
it to
weren't
the
gay,
bus
were
stop.
they? They were out late, really? Come on, Carl, so what happened?
So, anyway, I said, look, don't call me back. I'm going to bed. Right? I've got work in a bit.
Brilliant.
So,
Let's go, what?
so that was that,
Where
right?
were you working?
Next thing, right? Phone's going. Hello, it's the police again. I said, oh, I told you not to call me. Right?
I told you not to
so-
call me at home.
So, they said, right, the police are outside. Can you go on your balcony? She's like, oh. So I'm 10 stories up,
Yeah.
right? Stood on the balcony with like, my underpants on,
Yeah.
right? And the police are saying, where's the car? And I'm saying, I don't know, they've gone down that road now. So I'm trying to point to them. They're shouting up, saying which road and all that. And I just thought, why did they get involved?
Yeah.
I don't think they found it.
No.
It was hassle.
The
know what I mean?
blokes were pushing it too fast.
Exactly.
They were in the next street by now, weren't
But
they?
this don't get involved. Don't get after that.
Imagine him being on some sort of trial where it's like some sort of mob affair.
Yeah, gangland murder.
Imagine him going into the witness protection. The police just explaining to him, your new name is Jeffrey Peters.
Why can't I be called Bruce Wayne?
Well, no, Mr. Pilkington, listen. Imagine that. Do you know what witness protection is?
Oh, go on.
Amazing.
Look, it's when, supposing you were to give evidence against the mafia, right? You've done a job for them and you had to give evidence against them, right?
Right, well, if you're going to do... I mean, all I did was 2 kids nicking a car.
Yeah.
Don't start messing with mafia.
No, listen, of course not, no. But let's imagine you were in the mafia, and that you got caught doing something, but instead of going to prison for the rest of your life, you said, oh, well,